Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
This is how the container.
Yeah. Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Everybody can hear me? Okay, great. Okay. It's been a long fucking day. Tired. I really don't have a lot of energy, but I'm going to do my best to get this out. Okay? So please bear with me for reals. It's been a long, long day. And it's just a lot going on in my house. So I just want to get this done. And I promise y'all, we will kiki and everything tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a better day because today's just been a lot. Let's talk about the matches, okay? WrestleMania Night 1, she was interesting, okay? And Triple H is of the school of thought that WrestleMania does not have to end anything. A lot of times he will use Mania to begin something else. And that's what it looks like happened for a lot of people at WrestleMania. So let's start off with this match. This match kicked off the show. This was the heavyweight championship, and Gunther had been champion for 200 plus days. This was his sixth or seventh title defense in 200 plus days. And Gunther had a time going up against Jey Uso. Jey Uso had a counter for everything that he did. It's almost as if Jey Uso had learned from his previous mistakes. The man studied him. Thank you. Like a book. Used his own moveset against him and was able to regain or gain the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso is now your World Heavyweight Champion. And I think the sweetest moment about this was that his brother was in the ring waiting for him, and they were able to hug it out and love on each other in that ring. And I just thought that was just it was such a beautiful moment, and it was so sweet. And I really, really enjoyed watching this match from start to finish. It was awesome. I give it 10s across the board. I liked Gunther's intensity in this match. I thought Jey Uso looked really, really good in this match. Everybody that's been talking crap about him and his movesets and everything, y'all could shut your mouths because that man showed up, he showed out, and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. he shut Gunther's mouth and he took his title from him. And that is the sweetest revenge that anybody could have. Kudos to YouTube for putting on a banger. Shout out for Gunther for putting over Jey Uso. And it's only up from here, man, because I know some of y'all fans are going to turn on Jey Uso in about a month or two. Give Jey Uso about a month or two as champion, and the fans are just going to turn on Jey Uso, and they're going to say, he's too happy. He's doing too much eating. He's champion. He shouldn't be doing that. Or it's going to be, oh, I never wanted him to be champion anyway. I see you and I hear you coming. Okay? Let's move on to the next match. Shall we? We shall. I may go out of order, so pardon me if I am out of order, okay? Tag team matchup is what I can remember. If that's not the match, then I don't care. See what I'm saying? Look at Don. Anyways, War Raiders went up against the New Day. The New Day to beat War Raiders. If you didn't think this was going to happen, you've lost your minds. Look, for the longest time, when New Day were faces, they could not beat the War Raiders. They have never beaten the War Raiders as the New Day ever. And they have lost every Mania match that they've ever had as champions. And going into Mania to acquire, they've lost them all. So this time, them coming into Mania, beating the War Raiders, even though they cheated, I don't care. Let me be honest with you. I have no care or regard for the fact that New Day are champions again. To me, they shouldn't be champions again. I'm not a fan of this, and I'm just not going to pay any attention to it, if I'm being honest. I know a lot of y'all probably like, well, Tiff, a few months ago, you was cheering for New Day. New Day are heels. They're heels. What do you want me to do? Jump up and down because they're champion? I'm not fucking doing that. If that's what you want to do, be my fucking guest. That's all well and good. You are well within your right to do so. But baby, as for me in my house, okay, I'm not bowing down to nothing. I'm not thanking God for nobody but me and for the breath that I have in my body. Okay, fuck Xavier and that taco meat he got on his chest. And Kofi got to do something about that no mustache beard he got going on. That shit is wild. Wild. Okay. Let's go back to Jade Cargill and Naomi. I really liked this match. This match was so much fun to watch. The match was a little wonky in the match. It wasn't bad. It was just some of the steps was just a little ticky-tacky, but I will say for the most part, they were fairly clean and it was very effective throughout this entire match. Both of these women pulled out all the stops. Jade Cargill had some moments, okay? Moments. Okay? The way she caught Naomi, flipped her up, and slammed. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I do think that Naomi should have went over on Jade Cargill just to keep the feud between them going, because I have a sneaking suspicion that tomorrow she is going to cost Bianca that match, and Bianca's going to be out of the title scene for the World Heavyweight Championship, and it's going to be Naomi's fault. Something in my mind, in my spirit is telling me that lady is about to cause some mayhem, okay? But Jade Cargill is done with Naomi as far as we know. We don't know if they're going to run it back at Backlash or what they're going to do, but Naomi's crazy. I don't see her just taking the L and stepping back and saying, okay, girl, you beat me. Something about this don't smell right now. If she don't involve herself in Bianca's mess, cute, but Naomi not finished. That's the best way I can explain this, is that she's not finished. Jade looked stunning to me. I loved her hair. Her gear was fire. I loved it. Naomi had a beautiful entrance, amazing rock music, very, very equivalent to a heel. Naomi looked good. She was out there going hard. I loved every minute of this match. It was so much fun to watch. I was so invested. I loved it. The girls pulled out all the stops, and I was loving every minute of it. The pageantry of both of their entrances, the dedication they put into this match, the veteran wherewithal that Naomi had, and you know what? Jade Cargill ate down, and she did very good in her match against Naomi. Solid, solid from both of them. I am so proud of them. I'm proud of Jade Cargill, and I'm so proud of Naomi. Both of them did excellent in this match. I really loved it. Not gonna lie to you, I'm pissed off about this match. I hated this match the most. Out of all of the matches on this card, I hated this match. First of all, Rey Mysterio is injured. Like I told y'all, he was not going to compete. And I told y'all that Rey Fenix was going to replace him or it was going to be Dragon Lee. They went with Rey Fenix. My biggest issue with this match is that you did not have to give El Grande Americano this win. Rey Fenix already had suffered a loss the night before in the fucking battle royal because of El Grande Americano, and then you have him lose. No, I wasn't a fan of that. I'm still not a fan of that. I don't like this. Vikingo got involved in this, which leads me to believe that this somehow is going to lead to Worlds Collide, and they're going to have a moment at Worlds Collide. But you could have had a fucking moment right here, right now. And you chose to do this. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. It wasn't a good match. The boys did a good job against each other. I will say that. I will never take away from Chad Gable or from Rey Fenix. Chad Gable's an excellent wrestler. The storyline and everything involved in this match is just dumb. You could have just had Chad Gable going up against them and let them collide and let it really be Worlds Collide. You feel what I'm saying? You got culture against culture, but like, y'all got me sitting here looking at this man in the fucking mask talking about he's from the Gulf of America, and I'm tired. I'm sick of the bullshit. Find something else to do. Okay, this was unnecessary. I don't. It pissed me off. Is the best way to explain it, and I was done. I didn't even. I watched it because it was on, but it really soured me on the rest of the show, and I hate that for me because I didn't get to really sit and enjoy everything because I had to sit through that, and that pissed me off. We're gonna go back to LA Knight. LA Knight actually came before El Grande and Americano and Rey Fenix, if I recall. He might have been after. I can't remember. Anyways, this match was fire. It is one of the best matches on the card, if not the best match on the card. It was so good. Jacob Fatu is everything that they claim that he is and everything that he shows you he is. And LA Knight is every bit of the megastar that he is. It's just this particular night, he came up short just a little bit. Had it been just one more time, he most definitely could have gone up against Jacob and probably beaten him. But the cards was in Jacob Fatu's favor tonight. And Jacob Fatu is your new United States champion. I'm happy for Jacob because I know we family, they all of them have titles or they have had a title. Jacob, Jay Uso won earlier in the night. Then his cousin comes up and wins tonight. Jacob Fatu is champion. Jay Uso is champion. All is right in that family. Okay. It ain't right with Roman, but we're going to get to that in a minute. I'm sad that LA Knight had to drop the title to Jacob, but you know what? No, there was no better person to give Jacob Fatu the one up or give him the oop other than our incredible former United States champion, LA Knight. He did a banger of a job against against Jacob Fatu. It just was a really solid match. You almost thought LA Knight had it before Jacob was able to get his hands on that bottom ring rope. That ring awareness is crazy, but it saved him, and he was ultimately able to take LA Knight out with a few moonsaults, and that was Murder, She Wrote. Jacob Fatu is your new United States champion. Titles changed hands a lot tonight. First 3 championship matches, titles went to new people. Unfortunately, that was not the case when it came to Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. Not gonna lie, the two women put on a solid match. Tiffany Stratton was very competitive, as was Charlotte Flair. But Charlotte Flair taught Tiffany Stratton a very valid lesson in this game, and that is your age and your tenure and your rise in this company means nothing if you can't stand the test of time. And what Tiffany Stratton had to learn was that even as an OG, Charlotte Flair is going to outwork you and she's going to outthink you. Tiffany did a good job, but even in Charlotte Flair's weakness with her knee, she worked that girl over and busted two of her caps on her teeth. That's why she was sitting there looking like a hillbilly at the end of the match. She whooped her ass, and that was a good ass whooping that you deserved. You damn sure did. Yeah. You earned that ass whooping, bitch. You earned it. Okay. Either way, Tiffany Stratton retained her championship with her prettiest moonsault. If you care, I'm gonna be honest with you, baby. I don't give a goddamn. I really don't. I'm not a fan of Tiffany Stratton in terms of character. I find that she plays victim a lot because when she gets the opportunity to be on top, which it has been for a while, she turns into a mean girl very quickly, but plays victim when the same energy is matched and given back to her. And I don't like that shit. So as far as I'm concerned, she can eat a dick. I don't care. I don't care about her being champion. I'm glad that she was able to go over on one of her favorites, if that's how she saw it. But I just don't give a shit enough to sit here and analyze their match. It was a decent match. Highly recommend that you go back and watch it. But no, I don't care. I just don't. Now here's where the shit hit the fan. So if you've been paying attention, the story of these three all started back in the day when CM Punk was getting ready to build a faction. And the Shield were supposed to be his shield. That means Roman, John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, and Seth freaking Rollins were supposed to be his guys. He was supposed to lead them in to the E, and they were supposed to begin their careers through him. But because CM Punk left, and that left Seth and Roman and Dean Ambrose to kind of go it on their own, they realized that they didn't need CM Punk anymore and that all of this could be reshaped in their image, which they very much did. After Dean Ambrose left, and of course you had the two separate shows, Rollins and Reigns both reshaped WWE in their image. Wrestlers have come into the WWE that have been trained by Seth Rollins at his school or have been inspired by Roman Reigns. And they all have credited their ability to go into wrestling or to be a part of this wrestling community with these two men. And even in CM Punk's absence, he has still inspired and has been accredited with countless wrestlers' career. Look at Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Both of these women have credited CM Punk and his wife with creating them and giving them the inspiration to go into wrestling. Now that you understand the backstory, let's fast forward to the present. It's a lot of convoluted mess going on here. CM Punk solely focused on Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns solely focused on CM Punk. Because of that, that left Seth Rollins out in the cold, or so many people thought. But what you forgot is that Seth Rollins has always been the architect. Just because he calls himself a visionary and a revolutionary doesn't mean he's forgotten what he is. He's a thinking wrestler. He always has been, and he always will be. He had a plan: divide and conquer. He made sure that those two focused on Paul Heyman, and that was the goal heading into WrestleMania for them. They didn't realize that he had already gotten to Heyman and had already had his ducks in a row. This is why we saw Seth freaking Rollins beginning to pick at Paul Heyman and try so hard to get Roman Reigns to understand what was really going on. Not only did Seth Rollins was he able to beat both of these men, but he was able to kill two birds with one stone by removing Paul Heyman from Roman Reigns' grasp. He was able to take away Roman's safety net, but he was also able to ruin CM Punk by stealing his best friend, his mentor, the only man who he believed loved him and cared for him in WWE. He was able to get that man to screw his own best friend over and align with him. And now we have Seth Rollins as a Paul Heyman guy. This match was more than just a moment. This is the beginning of something very, very sinister. If Seth Rollins is back on the prowl as a heel, then you have a very big problem. Because I believe if this is the way we're going to go, then that means John Cena could possibly lose this coming Sunday. Because the big match that you're really going to be focused on is Seth Rollins going after Cody Rhodes for that WWE Championship with Paul Heyman in his corner. That means that would leave CM Punk and Roman Reigns to possibly fight it out. But honestly, what are they going to be fighting over? This is no longer going to be Roman's game. If I were Roman, I would completely remove myself from this situation. Everybody has turned their back on me. Everybody has already proven to me who they are. So believe them. I would move on and move out. That leaves Seth and CM Punk to fight this out. I believe at Backlash, you're going to see another match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. How that will play out will completely depend on how Seth or CM Punk carry this feud going forward. But seeing as how Paul Heyman turned on him, I can imagine that this particular feud now has grown massive, and these two are going to fight it out at Backlash. Roman's probably going to check out. He has no other reason to be a part of this and no other reason to fight in this. CM Punk and Roman fighting, it doesn't make sense, but Seth and CM Punk going at it, that makes a lot of sense to me, especially with Paulina being in the corner. Now, if you don't know what happened, let me give you a quick synopsis. Seth Rollins came in with a beautiful entrance, I'm not going to lie, fire and all. And then with black robe, he switched to white. And he came down there in all his white glory. Similar, Roman Reigns came down, also was wearing black and white. It was a very interesting gear choice. And then CM Punk, Ever the Rebel, came out with the full band Living Color singing his song Cult of Personality, but not before the video vignette played of CM Punk always being the rebel that he was, and his old entrance music was playing. Do you guys remember his old entrance music? I hadn't heard it in so long. I had forgotten that was his original entrance music. And oh my God, I still love that song to this day. It's a very good song. But I knew the moment that he came out and they gave him this massive video presentation package that he was not winning this match. And I figured that it was going to be Seth Rollins who won. I didn't know how he was going to win, but I figured he was going to be the one who won. Now, the way Seth was able to manipulate this is pure genius. It really is. It was pure genius. If you weren't trying to, figure out how they were going to work this, and you were just solely basing it off of what we saw in terms of how the three of them interacted with each other, you would have thought that Seth Rollins was just trying to stir the pot between Heyman and CM Punk and Roman Reigns. But in all actuality, he was throwing everybody off of his scent, and he was making sure he had an ace in the hole. And he did. This wasn't about the favor. The favor was just a ruse. It was a distraction. This was about dominance. This was about making sure CM Punk understood where he stands in this company. And Seth had a leg up on him this whole time. And CM Punk got comfortable and he got his ass got because of it. This is always the case when it comes to Roman and Seth Rollins. One thing Seth Rollins is very clear about is that Roman Reigns doesn't always think his way through. That's what his wise man was for. That was one of the reasons why he was able to be so successful, because the wise man had diplomacy. But you did say the wise man taught me that. But I don't think he really learned it. He also didn't understand the moniker of keep your friends close and your enemies closer. You should have been keeping tabs on your wise man. And what you should have done is pretended to be cool with everything that was happening so you can make sure you can keep your tabs on your wise man. But instead, you got emotional, and that caused you to lose sight and you lost focus of what you needed to do. As far as CM Punk is concerned, he was too busy sticking it into Roman Reigns' craw and loving on his friend Paul Heyman to see the danger that he was falling into. Seth Rollins was crashing out only because he knew that this would let CM Punk sink more into his comfortability. Now that we know what's going on, or we have some peace, Monday Night Raw is going to be a fucking chaotic massacre. Not only are we going to have to deal with probably a promo from the New Day, and not only is Jey Uso the World Heavyweight Champion, and he more than likely is going to get a standing ovation because they're still going to be in Vegas on Monday. But we are also going to have to deal with Seth and CM Punk battling it out, and possibly Seth coming out there with Paulina to explain himself. And this is going to be very, very interesting. Now, tomorrow night is night 2. Maybe night 2 will go a little cleaner. Maybe. The idea, she said, I was thinking, what if Seth and CM Punk face each other again, like Tiff said, and John Cena won the title, and down the road, CM Punk ends up coming back around and fight like old times. It's possible. CM Punk, John Cena could still beat Cody Rhodes. There's nothing that says that can't still happen. I do like the fact that Triple H has done something where things are not definitively ended at WrestleMania. There's a continuation of stories here. Some stories are done, others still have some legs. So it's very interesting. I'm curious as to how this is going to play out. Now that we are done with night 1 of WrestleMania, you guys tell me in the comments what you thought of night 1. Just give me a rating. Tell me if you loved it. Tell me if you hate it. Give me a grade from A to F of what you thought of WrestleMania night 1. I will give you guys 30 seconds. Here we go. All right, we're gonna go through y'all grades of night 1. I saw a lot of C's in the chat. I'm kind of disappointed at that. I thought it was a great show. It was a good night 1. But let me see. Sasha gave it a B plus. Tati gave it a B minus. Donnie gave it a C. Quan gave it a C. Brandy gave it a B. Aaliyah gave it a C, and DeAndre gave it a, hold on a second because it moved up. Kayla's vote came in. Hold on. DeAndre gave it a B plus as well. All right. And then you got a B with Kayla. Okay, so I would say on average, it was about a B minus. The C's kind of knock it down. So I say on the average for the chat, it's a B minus here for this particular show. That's not bad. I think that tomorrow night is going to be a better show. Mania weekend is a very hectic weekend when you have to watch stand, deliver, and then turn around 3 hours later and watch WrestleMania, it can be quite exhausting. But I will say this: the shows, both of the shows delivered on what they promised. Was we got some surprises, we got some title changes, and everybody is not leaving that theater knowing exactly what's going on or what's happening. You are still invested, and that is all that matters. So shout out to you, Triple H, for being able to put on a decent show. Technically, this is your first Mania from start to finish. You know what I'm saying? This is the one that you've curated for at least a year, right? This is the one you've curated since Mania 40. What is it, Mania 40 until now? So this is your first fully year curated WrestleMania. So this isn't a bad thing. This isn't a bad show. This is actually really, really good. You got a B minus for the show. Let's see what you give us tomorrow when it comes to WrestleMania Night 2. I was feeling bad for the NXT people last night at the Hall of Fame because I knew they had to go get up earlier. I mean, Liv Morgan was dancing at the club, and I want to talk about that on a different day. Probably when I do my video of the fashions of WrestleMania weekend, because I want to do videos like that. You know, we're going to have a conversation because some of them fashions was killing me. While I don't agree with some choices, I understand the decisions. I have to agree. But I'm not supposed to agree with the choices. You know what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to. I dead ass am not mad at any of the decisions that have happened tonight, except for Tiffany Stratton. I really wanted her to be humble, but it seems like they just gonna give her everything. So let them do whatever the hell they want to do. Um, let's go into the match card for tomorrow night's WrestleMania. We have Logan Paul versus AJ Styles, which I have no doubt will be a good match. I'm just not looking forward to it. We also have Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Again, I have no doubt that this match will be decent. I'm just not looking forward to it. Then we have the Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, let me tell you what's going on here. To clarify a few things, Bayley is kayfabe injured. Let me reiterate, Bayley is kayfabe injured. And for whatever reason, every time Raquel and Liv get ready to do something, somebody's always getting attacked. These bitches always got somebody getting attacked, and then they're always laughing and kikiing with people. Now, everybody's speculating that Becca is going to return and be Lyra Valkyrie's partner. If that's the case, these hoes ain't going to NXT next week. Lyra and fucking Becky are. So at this point, I just don't give a shit. Do whatever the fuck you want to do, but hurry up, bitch, because I'm tired. Is all I'm saying. I'm sick of it. This was unnecessary. You put Bayley through a whole goddamn gauntlet match with Lyra's ass after you had Lyra beat her on Monday Night Raw for that Intercontinental Championship, only for you to take Bayley off the card and bring back somebody else. Bitch, you could have just dropped the title to Bayley then on Monday. Y'all pissing me off. Y'all pissing me off. Find something else to do, please. Damn. Anyway, they got a tag match tomorrow. Who knows who's gonna be her partner, but everybody's speculating it's gonna be Becky. Okay, if it is, good for her, bitch. Okay, good for her. Good for fucking her. I guess. I don't know why you need that when you've already decided who's gonna. I'm so tired of this shit. Anyways, the Fatal 4-Way is probably one of the matches that I am looking forward to the most because I really want to see who is going to win in this match because I am so dead set on Dominic Mysterio getting this goddamn title. I am so dead set on it. I don't give a fuck about no Steiner math. I don't give a fuck about Finn Balor and his nips. Don't care about none of that. Panda baby, I love you. I love you to death, but you will have your time. I need Dominic Mysterio to win. I need him to win. I need him to win for the young OG that lost earlier tonight. on fucking NXT. I need him to win for me, for you, for Finn, for the final nail in Judgment Day's coffin. I need him to win. Do you understand what I'm saying? I need him to win. I need it. I need it in my life. Okay, full on SpongeBob. I need it. Give me the water. All right. Yeah.
Not the street trash.
Now, the triple threat match. I told y'all there are many ways that this triple threat match can go. I think Io should retain and she should pin Rhea Ripley to do it. I don't want to see Bianca Belair getting pinned. If they're going to do it the way I think, which is introduce Naomi into this, then maybe, just maybe, we can have some fun with this. Because Triple H is known for continuing feuds, not stifling them or stopping them at WrestleMania. So, if you don't want Bianca on Raw anymore, how do you get rid of her? Okay? You pull Bianca out of that match from an outside source. Rhea Ripley gets pinned by Io Sky. That will leave the feud between Rhea and Io, and then you pull Bianca back to SmackDown, where she could possibly go after Tiffany Stratton later on down the line for the championship again as a heel if they decide to turn her. Rhea stank ass needs to get pinned. Respectfully, I have to agree. What if Naomi takes out Bianca before the match starts? What if she does, babe? If she does, if that's what the way they decide to do it, that's their business, honey. I don't know. As long as Bianca don't get pinned in this match, that's all that matters to me. However they decide to do it, it's totally up to them. Who would have thought we'd be rooting for Dirty Dom? Let's keep it real. Like, I give Dom shit because Dom is a little shit. Okay, but if I'm being 1000% honest, Dominic Mysterio is probably one of the best Nepo kids I've seen in a very long time. He was able to not only use his dad's fame to bolster his own, but he also went and carved his own niche and did his own thing. He didn't waver and linger on his dad's name too much, and he didn't lean on that shit too much and like take that as a way, but he did use his dad's moveset. He still, was like, yeah, my dad's a deadbeat. That's his gimmick. But as a wrestler, as a competitor, he has improved every time he has stepped in that ring. Respectfully, he is one of the best Nepo kids they have had in the E. He just is. He's very, very good at what he does. So I will give Dom his props when he deserves it. And right now, he has earned the right to be able to get that Intercontinental Championship. He truly has. Finn don't fucking need it, okay? As much as Finn Balor done been hovering over titles and can't win one to save his life, he don't goddamn it need it, okay? And finally, we got the big kahuna. This also will determine the next trajectory of WWE. Are we going to be at a stop loss with John Cena walking away with the coveted WWE Championship? Or is Cody Rhodes going to continue his historic run as a champion and then hit that roadblock with Seth freaking Rollins? Because I'm telling y'all, it is coming, okay? I don't know. Johnny Boy taking the championship to me would cause a lot of chaos, but it also would put a pin in Seth and everything that he has going on, which would allow him to continue torturing CM Punk while Cody Rhodes battles to get his title back. It's very possible that that is the way that things could go. But because Triple H loves to give you guys a little bit of a twist, I don't know how this match is going to play out, but I will say I'm hoping against hope that Cody Rhodes retains his championship. But after he laid out John Cena twice, my mind's telling me no. It's not happening, babes. I just don't think that Cody is going to win this Sunday. I want him to. And these are two of my favorite people. I love John Cena. John Cena has always been my guy. And I like Cody. I think Cody is he just genuinely is a good dude. So I really like both of them. And I'm torn between John Cena and Cody Rhodes, but not because of their character or the story, but just simply because I like both of them. I think that John Cena, in his anger and frustration towards the WWE universe, he does make perfect sense when he says they've hated him from the start, which is true. But where he loses me a lot with his shit is that he's only focusing on the WWE universe as if they are his opponent at Mania, and Cody is just an extension of them. He's not focusing on Cody as an opponent, and he keeps making it seem as though Cody is the one who's been blinded and he's, all seeing. And another thing that's really scaring me is that we have not seen The Rock in months. Ever since Elimination Chamber, The Rock has been nowhere to be found. And that is unnerving to me. I don't like that. That makes me believe that some shit is about to go down at WrestleMania, and it is going to be because of him. He's going to either be there or he's going to send somebody in there to help Cena win this match, and John Cena is going to be champion, which fucking sucks. But for the sake of a story, it more than likely is what's going to happen. Let's see what y'all saying in the comments. If John Cena wins, then we might get Cena versus Punk at Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. I don't know about that. Is it possible? Sure. It's very possible. I don't know why y'all want to see John Cena and CM Punk go at it so bad. That's not something that I want to see. I have no desire to watch any of that. I barely want to see John Cena face off against Cody Rhodes, honestly. Because the last time we saw John Cena wrestle in a ring, it was against Solo, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. So I'm not looking forward to this match, but I am looking forward to the story it's gonna tell. Travis bitch ass better get the receipt. That receipt, that's all I know. If Cody wasn't going to none of his concerts or going to his house to punch that nigga in his face, bitch, I don't know. I forgot about Randall. Randall do got a surprise match. He said he's gonna go out there and he's gonna wait for somebody to come out there. I'm hoping that it's Nick Aldis who comes out there. I really want Nick to be the one because Nick has never wrestled at Mania. This is the perfect time for him to do it. And him and Randy could put on a pretty decent match, I'm hoping it's Nick Aldis. I don't know who else it could be, but I'm hoping that it's Nick Aldis. All John gonna do is play dead the whole match. I mean, he did say he don't have to wrestle to beat him. So, which he's right. He's right. He don't have to know how to wrestle to beat him. And he's already doing heel shit. He thumbed the man in the eye Friday. So I don't know, y'all. I am gonna say that I am glad that they are, not just deading shit at Mania, but they are either extending it or adding new life to feuds and possibly extending other feuds through matching. It could be Rusev. It could be Rusev. That's true. Rusev did resign to the E. It could be. I don't know. I'm hoping it's Nick Aldis, though, Zion. I really do. I want it to be Nick because I don't give a shit about Rusev. Like, Rusev's all right, but I don't want to see that. Rusev's been at Mania before. He's wrestled at Mania before. Nick Aldis has never wrestled at Mania that I know of, and I want to see it. Plus, they actually got some beef. They got a little bit of beef. You know what I'm saying? And that would work for me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no shade to Rusev or whatever, but I don't give a fuck about Rusev. Like, all the shit he was talking about, he was over in AEW, then he come crawling back with your bitch ass gone somewhere. Anyway, I'm glad they was able to pull this show off. Like we said here on my channel from everybody in Rusev can pop up at Backlash. Fair enough. You said Rise can pop up at Backlash. I know what you meant, babes. True enough, he could. Now, we got a few irons in the fire because Friday on the 25th, you're supposed to see the return of Aleister Black. At least that's what my mind is telling me. And we're going to have a ladder match for the tag team championship. So it's a lot going on Friday. But that Mania after Raw, I'm hoping it's a pop off. Okay. I really want that Mania to pop off because every year, these motherfuckers give us a shitty Mania Monday after. They don't never put no effort into that Monday after Mania. And I'm like, ugh. That be the best part of Mania sometimes. It's the Monday after. You want to see the fallout, people crashing out and shit. I want to see some drama. I want to see some mess. Okay? Anyways, y'all, let's gear up for night 2. We're going to chill. We're going to get ourselves some rest. We're going to drink plenty of water. Okay? It could be Dragunov if he's healed and ready to go. Dragunov wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm not mad at that. Y'all give us some pretty cool ideas. Don't know, but we just gonna have to wait till tomorrow, babes. We really don't know. Which is kind of cool. You know, you don't really know the trajectory of everything. And I think that's probably the best part. If y'all haven't watched Rosenberg's interview with Triple H, I really think you should watch it because they've been able to lock down a lot of things from WWE. Sometimes some shit still goes out. But a lot of the shit has been locked down, which leads me to believe they have truly and honestly cleaned up and tightened up back there because there are not as many leaks as there was before. Like nobody was talking about AAA being acquired by WWE. Nuts. And the first Worlds Collide is going to be in June, and it's going to be Worlds Collide. You're going to be having WWE folk wrestling in AAA or wrestling AAA folk. Vikingo was on Mania today, go fighting with El Grande Americano. Do you know who Vikingo is? Have you ever seen him wrestle? I highly recommend that you head on over to TNA's page and go look up some of Vikingo's matches. That in itself, along with Ray Phoenix and everybody else who is there, is so insane. The type of acrobatic movesets that they are capable of is nuts. When I tell you that you will be thoroughly entertained by these men in these matches, I promise you, you will. Okay, it's gonna be insane. Insane. Let's just hope that they have some respect for the luchadors. I know that they've acquired AAA, but at the same time, we also know how Triple H books the Latina talent. I'm just keeping it 100% real. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just telling you what I know. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, please hydrate yourselves. Okay? Make sure you get something to eat. Make sure you get something to drink. Keep yourself cool. Okay? Because tomorrow, we got another 3 to 4 hours of wrestling. And then we can finally bow our head and say amen. And close this chapter of WrestleMania 41 because I'm as tired. I'm tired. But I love y'all. I love y'all for being over here. I love y'all for listening to me. They all gonna be split between LWO and Legato. I don't think so. Woo, child, Jesus be offense. I love y'all very much. I hope y'all had a good day. I hope y'all enjoyed WrestleMania. It really was a solid show. It wasn't that bad. Now, was it over the top, amazing, great? No, but it was still a good show. If you're expecting what you got last year at WrestleMania, you're going to be sorely disappointed because last year was last year and this is a new year. You really, really, really have to be in tune with what's going on in order for you to appreciate what we saw today. So I highly recommend that some of y'all go back and rewatch it just so you can kind of see some things so you can really enjoy what you saw. And then prepare for WrestleMania Night 2, because I feel like Night 2 is just going to be an exaggerated version of Night 1, and it is going to be a mess. It is going to be a mess. But I will see y'all then. We're going to go live again after Night 2, and we're going to talk all about it. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for being over here, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.